So I was 21 years old when I realized that money actually can buy happiness. I grew up thinking that, everything everything you love, it can be free. You don't need money to get happiness. But in 2015, I found out that you can buy happiness pretty cheap. For $50, I bought my best friend in the whole entire world. And it was a roller coaster ride getting there. But started off that day, I had finally realized that I really wanted a dog. My mom always told me that I could get a dog because I was staying at our old house, but she didn't want a pit bull around the house because she had a hairdressing salon and everything. I was like, all right, whatever. She wouldn't go for the first 2 dogs I went and saw because they needed whoever else was going to be in the house to come and check them out, and they ended up being pit bulls, full-bred American pit bull terriers. And so I finally found this shelter that was pretty near to my house. It was about 30 minutes away, and I woke up. I had about 3 hours to get everything done. So I wake up, I drive to the Venango County Humane Society. Fun fact, the Venango County Humane Society has a shop where they sell things to raise money for the Humane Society that goes by the Venango County Humane Society. It's 20 minutes away from where the actual Venango County Humane Society is. So go there, talk to the guy at this Dog Salvation Army. He tells me that I need to go 20 minutes down south, and I'll see the shelter. It's this old, beaten down building. You can't miss it. And I was like, cool. Go down there, drive down there. At this point, I have about an hour and a half. I was like, that's plenty of time to, get a dog and take it home. And an hour and a half's a long time to figure things out. So I was like, it's more than enough time. I go down there, and it's this beat up building, no lights on or in the place, and it has a big white poster hanging in the front. And it said they relocated literally 2 days prior. I'm 21 at this point. I don't know how to read directions. I don't have a map. I don't have an atlas. So I followed these directions. It was like, go a quarter mile down this road, hang a left, and go behind the gas station, and it'll be about 500 feet on the right. So I do my best to find this place. It's another 20 minutes. At this point, I'm like, I have about an hour and before I have to be at work. And I'm like, yeah, this is fine. And I had done a little bit of research before. I looked online. I saw photos of the dogs that they had up for adoption. And I was kind of feeling a beagle. I don't know. I just kind of walked in. I feel like it's kind of like getting a haircut. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. We'll see what we have. Beagle sounds good today. That sounded like a weird. I don't eat animals or dogs. I eat animals. You get what I'm saying? So I walk in, and I'm going down this cell block. I don't know what to call it. It's this brand new building, but it's all cement, and they have country music blaring. I like country music, I know, but they have it blaring I couldn't even hear myself think. And I walked about 3-4 cages down, and I saw this dog in the back corner facing the wall, and I realized his fur color, and I thought I remembered his name, but I wasn't sure, so I kneeled down, and I was like, Dexter. And he turned his head, and he got super excited, and he ran over to me, and he started licking me through the cage. And I was in there for maybe 2 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna take this one. Where do I check out? do I bring him to you? And they were like, no, you can't just come in here and take a dog. You have to spend time with it and get acquainted with it. So we have this playroom. Why don't you take the dog and go to the playroom for half hour or so? I was like, I don't have that much time. I need to be at work in 45 minutes. And they were like, well, 15 minutes will do. And they're just going with me. I felt like I was in charge. It was really weird. I don't know if they got new volunteers in the time that they moved to. But so we went to the playroom, and I sit down, and I'm playing with Dexter, and I'm talking to him, and I'm like, hey, you're going home with me. What do you think about that? And he's just pissing in the corner and then running to another corner and peeing. And he's having a ball doing this. And so I'm checking my watch, and about 15 minutes goes by, and I peek my head out the door, and I was like, he peed everywhere. And can I sign the paperwork now, or how's that work? I still think I want him. And so anyways, I go out and I take out my checkbook because I'm a young adult, and I put it down, and I write out a check for $50 after I called the bank and made sure I had that much money in there, and ripped it off, gave it to them, and they just gave me a sheet of paper, and it just said that I had purchased this dog from the Venango County Humane Society. He had all the shots. He was neutered. He was good to go. And I was like, how old is he? And they were like, 2 or 3. And I was like, cool. What kind of dog is he? And they were like, he's a husky lab. And I was like, I don't know. Do you mean he's a husky or lab? That makes sense, but I don't know about the whole, he kind of, And they were just like, we don't really know much about his backstory. Like a lot of the paperwork got shuffled up in the move, and they had literally just been there 2 weeks. So I end up bringing him home. At this point, I have like 10 minutes before I got to be at work. I call my one friend. I'm like, hey, can you cover for me? I'm going to be a little bit late. Just bought a dog. So I got to take him out. And take him out. And my mom, her hair salon is attached on the back of the house. So she's going in and out of the house all day long. And I was like, hey, Mom, I just got a dog. His name's Dexter. And she like came and she's like, hey, it's a pit bull. And I was like, it's not a pit bull. It's a husky lab. I have the paperwork to show it. It's pretty legit. He's 2 or 3. So anyways, I got to go to work. I just let him out. I'm sure he'll be fine for like 2 hours. I'll be back. And I think he's going to be a great addition to our house. And I ran out to work. And I was at work for maybe like, I don't know, half hour, an hour tops. And I get a call from my mom, frantic. She's like, he shit in the living room. And I was like, that's impossible because they said he was housebroken. So I don't know. I think you might have done that. No. So anyways, I rush home because I don't want my mom to be upset at this dog. And she's like, I can't believe you got a pit bull. And now he's like, he's not housebroken. She's freaking out. And I like grabbed the newspaper and Dexter freaked out a little bit. He got all nervous and scared. And I didn't know what that was about because I really don't know his backstory. But all I know is I've had him for 4 years. He's my best friend. He hasn't shit on the floor since. And he sleeps beside me every night. It's the best thing. It's the best thing I've ever bought for $50. So thank you.